and stuff. And aren't you guys glad that you're not going to be tasting the horseradish tonight? But you'll get to taste some delicious dessert.
Okay, I'm going to give you the same microphone.
Yeah. Wow, what an honor to be here with all of you. I'm humbled. When, older in life, just a few years ago, I found out I have Jewish heritage on both my mom and my dad's side. And I kind of knew it. So to do this is like coming full circle. So I guess when I finally go to Israel, I'm going to really lose my mind.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good thing.
It is going to be a good thing. So now how do you say it? The Sedar?
Sedar.
Okay, the Sedar plate. And here's an empty one. I'll just kind of hold it up so you can see it. And there's something that goes in each one of these little areas. And then I have one up here where I have put everything. So there's a certain order that they're there and a thing that they represent. So the first thing, the karpas, you use a vegetable, and I've used parsley, and you dip it in this little salt water here. And this symbolizes the growth and the fertility of the Jewish people in Egypt. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is the garoset or the haroset. Different Jewish dialects say it differently, right? And this you're all going to hopefully taste when we go to dessert. This is it right here, and it's a mixture of dates and nuts and raisins and orange juice. And this represents, you can also put wine in it, but we kept the wine out of it. This represents the mortar that the Jewish slaves used to build the storehouses in Egypt. And it symbolizes the toil and labor of the Jewish people in Egypt. And then we have the bitter herb, the maror, and you use a horseradish for the bitter herb, and so I just have some horseradish leaves there. And this represents the bitterness and the harshness of slavery that the Jews endured when they were in Egypt. And then more bitter herb, the charoset. Charoset. Yeah. She's helping me learn all this. So this is the horseradish root. And this you definitely would not want to eat because it's really nasty. And it's meant to be an inedible bitter herb on the plate, and it symbolizes the atrocity of infanticide, that Pharaoh did. The herb is inedible because it cannot be swallowed or accepted, and therefore represents the repudiation of assimilation. So the bitter herb represents all that bitterness with Pharaoh and the infanticide that he did when he killed all those babies. And then the zeroa, it's in my blood, I'm telling you. It's the first time I've said this stuff. So this is the lamb bone, and this is actually a piece of lamb bone because we had leg of lamb for dinner on Shabbat. And this represents the shank of the bone symbolizes the Korban Peyash, which is the sacrificed lamb, the one that she spoke about earlier that was killed and had its blood put above the door frames that saved the Israelites. It also is not the usual word for bone in Hebrew. The usual word is etzim. But this one, the sages refer to the lamb as zeroa arm, as in the outstretched arm of the Lord. I am the Lord. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
And it's evidenced by God's mighty deliverance of the Jewish people given in Yeshua. And he's delivered all of us, right? Then we have the betitza. Betza. And this one's really easy. It's just an egg. A hard-boiled, a roasted egg. Mine's hard-boiled, I cheated. This recalls the Korban Kagagesh. Did I say that right? Close?
Hagigah. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Hagigah. Or the roasted lamb that was slaughtered at the temple during the season of Passover. So as they continued to do Passover generation after generation, they still slaughtered lambs, right? I slaughtered one, somebody did, because I had lamb Saturday, so it's still going on. That's what that symbolizes. And then lastly, the saltwater bowl that I did the parsley in. This is to recall the sweat and the tears of the Jewish slaves. And later it recalls the splitting of the sea and the destruction of Pharaoh's army. And we use the salt water to dip the kapas, and that's that part at the beginning, like I did before the start of the meal. So that's it.
All right, thank you so much.